What's going on, YouTube? Just out here getting ready to make another video. You have to excuse me, I'm super hot and sweaty from the weather lately and just coming back in from working on my lawnmower. But today I'm going to be talking about my 3-gauge Glowshift dash cluster that I have in my 2000 Subaru Impreza Outback Sport. So, yeah, a lot of you have asked me in my different videos on this 3-gauge cluster that I've had. So this originally came with the car whenever I bought it. The previous owner had put a voltage gauge here and an oil pressure gauge here. And finally, after the 5 years of having this, I took out the blank one, and thankfully my father-in-law helped me install the ambient air temperature gauge. So I have my hood up. I'm going to show you how I routed, or how 2 of those gauges are wired, and then I'll throw in some pictures and show you where and how the voltage gauge is wired. But yeah, without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you what this looks like when the car has power. So I also put my hood up so you can see the gauges properly, but I got them to where I could match all of the interior. So that's one of the biggest things about these gauges that I like, is that they are the 10 colors. Well, you have the option to change it 10 different colors. So right now I have it set to blue, since a majority of my interior, aside from the AC controls, are this kind of like ice blue, if you want to call it. And so give you a rundown on some of the colors. And all 3 of them are set up the same way. And when you go through these colors, eventually they'll let you choose, or it won't let you choose, it'll just automatically change it. So pretty cool. It just has the, it'll just switch them, and then it'll also fade into the next colors, which are pretty cool. And if you've seen my short on this, you would see that I did this at nighttime in the garage. So all in all, super happy. I love the look on them. This box is only held on there by double-sided tape, and it fits perfectly. So no cutting or extra modification was needed to attach this. And getting the dash apart for this is very, very simple. There's 2 screws here where the cup holder is, or the center console. You pick this up and it comes up as one piece. Since the previous owner had a subwoofer in here, he had controls. Just unplug this. It got a little USB port, also needs unplugged. This will pull right out with a like the plastic pry tools, and same with this. This will also just pull out as one piece. You may have to pull the gear shifter back, but yeah, this all comes out. And then there's a couple screws behind this plastic trim here that you can then just pull out the radio set. And from the rear is where you can start attaching some of these wires and things like that. So yeah, like I said, all in all, I really like it. There's not a whole lot of modification to use. It is kind of tight under here running the wires. I think you run into the problem with these air vents that shoot straight back, so you do have to kind of finagle the wires down through. But yeah, the gauges are pretty accurate, other than the ambient air temperature gauge. So right now it's showing 105. Like I said, I went to go work out, drove around town, had to go to the store. My only, I guess, complaint is where this gauge is mounted, is that it'll pick up the air as you're moving, and it's really accurate. But if you come to stop and go traffic, or like I'm sitting here in the garage, it does read a little bit higher than what it would be, because it's picking off that engine heat and things like that. But yeah, I'll throw up a picture. The voltage meter, the wires that come with this gauge are just mounted underneath here. They are all T-tapped into like an ignition source and things like that. So very simple, very straightforward. Like I said, pretty accurate. And the oil pressure gauge, I'll show you where that's run to. So if we start from the top, the gauges are here. You can find the holes through the center dash, and essentially you can trace these wires down through here. And I have pushed them through the firewall there, and this is all right here. And we can take a look right down, stupid camera, we can take a look right down through there and kind of see where they push out through that rubber grommet. And eventually you can trace that oil line. This will come out right to about here. And if you're looking at the Subarus, you've got your alternator here. And let's see if I can get a good picture of it. And right there. So that's where the oil sensor gauge is. It does appear to have an aftermarket adapter on it to allow this gauge to read properly. So Glowshift does have a really good 6-minute video on a WRX. So different engine, but same concept since they're all Subarus. Just a simple attachment, and that's how you get your reading. And obviously you can add it to your engine and clean it up as you wire it through there. So unfortunately the stupid phone does not like to focus. And same thing as for the ambient air temperature gauge. We have this directly T-tapped into the ignition source for my dash cam here, or the cigarette lighter, and then we also have it powered through to the battery. So it comes out the same section there in the firewall, and I have it run through here. We do have it connected directly to the battery, as I said, with an extra fuse, and this is a waterproof fuse, that way nothing happens. And let's see, right next to where the power is coming from, I do have the actual sensor wire itself. So as we can track it down here, you might be able to see that I have it right in between the radiator, and then it's mounted right there directly on the front of the radiator. So I don't drive this car hard, but as I said, it's been super hot here on the East Coast, and so lately this gauge has been picking up quite a bit of extra heat just from everything else. But for the most part, the gauge is very, very accurate, and I will drop in a couple clips of what it does on the first startup compared to what the temperature is outside, and then when you're also driving. So I will go ahead and add those in, but let me know what you guys think. I will put the links to all these parts and pieces into the comments or in the description. So I'll go ahead and show you what the ambient air temperature is like when you first start it up, and when driving, and then also where the wires are behind this aftermarket head unit. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll try and respond to every comment that you guys leave me. So thanks. Alright, so here's the car completely cool. Hasn't been started yet or anything. As you can see there. And here's the gauge. Try and keep the glare off of it. So about 82, 83. I am inside my garage, so the temperature is a little bit different being inside. But overall, it's pretty accurate, seeing as right now it's looking like it's about 86 degrees out, and yes, that is just a screen protector. My screen isn't actually cracked, so yeah, about 86 to 83. So that's going to change whenever I start driving, and you'll be able to see. So as you can see, once you start moving, driving around town, probably won't be able to pick it up due to the frame rates and stuff like that, but it's sitting right at 86, so pretty accurate, especially when moving. And here's what happens after you drive around a little bit. I'm sitting at a park after walking. It's reading 115 degrees. So the car is still warm, stationary. It's been sitting outside. It does pick up the air and heat around the engine, so the earliest accuracy you'll get from the ambient air temperature gauge is if you're just starting the car up for the first time during the day. But if you're on the road and stop and go traffic, or parking out in the open field in a park, it's going to read a lot higher than what the actual air is outside. But overall, still super happy with how it handles just the constant driving and initial startup. And just to show you what I'm talking about, we're driving here. It's showing 89 now, and the temperature has gone up to about 90. So yeah, it's pretty accurate.